Well, now I want to go over the clip properties, and we can see how these clip properties work. Here, for example, I'm in the MIDI notes here. These MIDI notes, and so this is a MIDI clip, as you can see. I can go to here, and now this is a audio clip, as you can see. So here you can see the waveform right here. This is the overview right here. We can see it's a waveform. Here's the clip information, and it says sample. Meanwhile, in MIDI, you go here to MIDI, it says notes rather than sample. Let's go over the sample clip first to get a good idea how that works. Now here we have the name of the actual clip, and we also here have the colors. So we can make clips different colors, and we can change the colors. For example, I can go right here and change it this color right here, and it is that color right now. We can also go down here and change the time signature from 4/4 to 3/4 or 6/8, whatever. We can also change the groove. Now here over here, we have the sample itself. So this is the sample, but this information also includes the sample rate, which is 44.1 kilohertz. And the resolution here is 16 bits, and it's 2-channel, meaning stereo. If it was 1 channel, it would be mono. Some people should be aware of that. Now here we have, this is high quality rate conversion. And you can see from the information on the info side here that what this does, it just gives us a higher, more sophisticated algorithm, which is used to calculate the rate conversion. So we can get a higher rate conversion, better sound quality. So if you have enough room and a bigger CPU, this is great if you have a very expensive or great CPU, but it's going to be a real drain on your CPU anyway, so be aware of that. Then we have the fade. Now the fade happens at about 0.4 milliseconds between each audio sample. This way there's no pops and clicks, so they go from one audio sample to the other with much more of a cleaner, smoother feel. And then here, this is RAM. So what this RAM clip mode does is that it allows the system to load audio reference clips into the memory rather than reading them directly from the hard disk. So by playing clips from the RAM, this can help your computer's hard disk if it's running too slow. Sometimes it runs slow when you're doing too much. So RAM I really don't use because my system's pretty powerful. I have no problem for that. You have to adjust to what your system does. Now over here we have the edit and the save and this reverse. So we can edit. Now what happens here, I can go up here to preferences, and we can edit this sample, this audio file, in a different program. So when we click on here and we go to preferences, we'll see file folder. And here I can select and browse the sample editor. In this case, I'm using recycle. Let's close this out. Now here we can save that information once we do edit it. And here we can also reverse our sample. Let's say I'm playing this actual file. I stop it, pressing the space bar, and I press reverse. So reverse it, and click it again, it's back to normal again. Now here we have transpose. I can transpose this waveform. I can move it, say I want to move it up a whole 12 steps up. Well, that sounds real weird. So transposing isn't really that good on any system I've ever used. But the most you can probably go is probably 3 or 2 up. And then after that point, it's hit or miss. You never know. So I prefer to keep it around 0. And if I need transpose, I have to be very careful and try to edit the best I can. Now here we have a little fader for the actual track. And this is great in case you want to bring down the level of this particular audio file with up or down when you're mixing, just in case it's too loud, you want to get a little louder within the mix. And so I use this also for playback. I want to hear it back a little louder or not. And I can play it and then lower it. See what happens? It's changing that waveform, almost like normalization does. Now here we have warp. Now what warp does, it sort of makes every sample plastic-like. We can stretch it out or put it back in together. It makes elasticity go with it. Because this way I can put it to any tempo, 120, 100, maybe 98 BPM, either one. And the warp ability is great to have between different sample clips that are audio and different clips that are MIDI. That way I can make certain clips groove and blend together to get the kind of groove I want to get out of it. And here we have the sequences BPM. And right here we have, this is the half original tempo. So I can go to this, it's faster. I go to here, back to normal. One more time, it's double longer. I go to here, it's back to regular. So I can either half original tempo or I can double original tempo. Either way right there. Now here we have, this is beats. This is the warp mode, the beats. And I have, so I can use tones, beats, texture, or repitch. Now here on the other side of that, we have start. This is start for the loops. I have my start point and my end point. If I don't have loop set, this would just go a total of 4 bars and just stop. With the loop set up here, and I have my position set. Set 1, and here's the other length, set 2, which is the length. So position and the length of that. It's the beginning and the end of it right here. And the length of the loop itself. Now, I do prefer to grab it in here and do my looping within the, look at the wave file and look at the parameters. It makes it easier for me to view. Now I'm going to go right back here over to the MIDI. And now the Miniclip properties are somewhat the same. You see it says clip here in the beginning, and the clip name is there. We can change the color. We have a time signature, and below that we have groove and other properties as well, as you can see right there. So what we also have here that's different though is notes. Instead of sample, it says notes here. So we have the original BPM of this particular MIDI file, and then we can also have original tempo. We can double original tempo right there. We can do banks. So for example, if I'm sending this information back out to another, let's say module, a Yamaha ES or a VS 2480 or whatever, or I can send this back out here to the parameters and send that information out to that particular bank, or send the program information out as well. Set the program information up and send it right back out to that bank or to that program for that particular module or keyboard, or even MPC. Now here, of course, is the same thing, a start and stop time to the loop, everything else. As you saw before also, we see here, this is just mainly just the kit. And so these are resources that are used for this particular MIDI file. And I can see the chain of resources here. I can see this here where I have the send in this chain is a little verb. You see this verb here, settings for that. And we have each instrument that's in there, in this kit, this drum kit. And I can also go to here and I can add more. So I can get rid of this one here. In the device chain, we see the rest of it. We can see these tonal settings that are set right here. And we also see the saturated set right here also as well. So we can see how many other source instruments are actually in the chain. And those are some of the properties, our major properties, dealing with clips in live.